There is a campaign to push the prime minister out the door, and that he was not 100% sure that the prime minister could survive this.
Welcome back to Moose and Loose. My name's David. Today we've got Justin Trudeau dancing at an Asian food market like an absolute fool. This is ultimate cringe. I think he's completely losing his mind, and this is how he's reacting out. We've also got a leaked conversation from Stephen Guilbeault at a CP rail station where he gets overheard talking by a Toronto Star reporter about Trudeau's caucus just falling apart. They're imploding. Coming from Guilbeault's mouth, it seems like, despite them trying to hold it together, a bunch of them are trying to kick Trudeau out. Things are getting spicy for the Liberal Party. So first off, this is the clip that is going around right now. Everyone's reposting it, so I've got a whole bunch of them here. We got Melissa Landsman posting this. It says, "Sir, the caucus is asking you to go. Trudeau, tell them I'm busy."
Instead of dancing, what about salsa?
So the guy there who's obviously recording over here somewhere says, instead of dancing, what about Gaza? This isn't Gaza, this is Canada. So now if we take a look at Andrew Scheer, who also shared this caption contest, I'll go first. Dance like nobody is calling for your resignation. Yeah, that's something to really think about here. Is he having a mental breakdown? Dance like you already rigged the 2025 election. Dance like you scored not reading that one. Half kilo of something. This is gonna cost taxpayers huge, but I'm having the time of my corrupt life. This is the, I know I'm toast, so I'm just going to act like a jerk until they kick me out dance. Dance like the Liberals haven't mortgaged the future for generations to come. Why he decided to show up at an Asian food market with 35 RCMP, I don't know how many there. It looks like there's 35. There might be 50 or 100. They're all these guys in the yellow vests back here. This man is just like, it's so cringe. It's embarrassing. He's obviously having some sort of mental breakdown because he's finally losing for once in life. He can't just pay to win. His daddy can't come to save him. He's getting squashed and publicly humiliated. Not only does the 41 million Canadians, but probably 1 billion plus people across the world, because they like to make fun of him in Australia and in India. I mean, that already puts you well over like 1.5 billion people. Is it time to have him confined for some testing? Okay, that's going to get copyright. We're going to mute that. This is after his stronghold in St. Paul's Toronto riding there fell. This guy's lost his marbles. If you look at the Canadian PM as well as the Justin Trudeau accounts, he's posted different pictures on both of them. Look, I still have one Liberal voter. Hey, look, we don't know who this guy is, but I think he's famous. Let's take a photo with him. Hey, this guy's popular. Probably increased sales. Let's shake his hand. Trudeau's like, where do I put this? I'll let you guys caption this one. Somebody took a bunch of the clips and jammed them together, and Brian Lilly posted this one, which I am going to have to turn the music off for. Okay. He's just having the time of his life with like 50 police officers surrounding him. This is like, why is he there? He has no business being there. This is part of the job of PM. If you're an unpopular prime minister, you don't get to go out and do these things anymore. That's how this works. So we got this one posted by Josh Ryan. He says, Hamas organizer Navid Awan, who stalked a young Jewish youngling onto her own property, calling her a Zionist piggy, is greeted by Justin Trudeau with a pat on the back. Navid, Zionism is a dirty word. Trudeau, there you go. Nice to see you guys.
Trudeau, let's get a pic. Sorry. Let's get a pic with Trudeau. Trudeau. Hey, pleasure to see you. Hey there. Hey, how you doing? Zionism is a dirty word. There you go. Okay? Nice to see you guys. Zionism is terrorism. Okay? Zionism is terrorism. Wait touching me.
Look how close they can get. Does this guy not have half a brain? You're the most hated man in the country. Seriously, Trudeau, I'm not going to say it because I can't, but you all know what I'm thinking. If someone doesn't like him and they have that easy access to him, does he have half a brain? Not even trying to hide their allegiance to Hamas. Trudeau loves the T people. He even supports them financially. There's an interesting poll here. I can't even read this out. You guys can see it on the screen, though. Spotted on WeChat, Justin Trudeau's Friday night selfie tour of the night market in Markham, Ontario, capping a week that began with a surprise by-election loss. Several Chinese comments were unflattering for the politician nickname Little Potato. So he has a Chinese nickname, which is Little Potato. Apparently it's kind of a cute thing. Yeah, we're going to just mute that. Because music is not something you can really put on these videos. Not more than for like a few seconds. I see he's shaking all these guys' hands. Yeah, this guy must like me, right? No, they just want to increase sales. That's all they want. Oh, this guy's popular. Who is he? I don't know. Shake his hand. It'll increase sales. This guy's like, yeah. Trudeau. Like, look at this. How many RCMP? I'll show you in the next video. There's quite literally a ring, and they go arm in arm, and they surround him in this big circle, and they just bulldoze their way through the night market. Like, this is ridiculous. So there you have it. Sweaty armpits, Justin Trudeau. I'll make fun of anything for this guy because he's so terrible. One thing I'm really surprised about is he didn't speak in his native tongue. He stuck to English. He didn't speak any Mandarin Chinese. Here we've got the long video of basically the whole thing posted by Derek Noonan. And it shows the RCMP going arm in arm, and he heckles the crap out of them. We'll play a couple minutes of this.
CCP traitor, Justin, you're a CCP traitor. You're a CCP traitor, Justin. Justin, what happened at West Grey Academy, Justin?
What did happen?
What happened at West Grey Academy, Justin?
Why was he kicked out halfway through the school year? Usually teachers stick it out, right?
Justin, why has food bank usage gone up 65%, Justin? Why is there record homeless, Justin?
It's bizarre. They let some people in and not other. Like, obviously, these guys are scanning. They see any of the F Trudeau hats and, keep those guys out. You'll see later, they take all of those guys and they push them into a corner and then barricade them there. They don't let them come out, basically.
Hey, Justin, you're a wacko. Hey, wacko.
This is embarrassing. You got all these grown men, RCMP, like huddled around this pathetic little loser of a prime minister. Just think about this. All these grown men without a backbone.
You must be losing your mind.
You're a traitor. You're a traitor.
Why didn't they tell Trudeau, no, you're not going to that night market. This is a stupid idea. I don't...
Oh,
there he goes.
Dancing like a fool. Oh, yeah, there you go. Dance, you idiot. Dance, you idiot, while the country's burning. Hey, the country's burning and you're dancing like a fool. You CCP traitor.
So someone would point out here, this guy's got a camera on a stick here he's recording. There it is there. So this is a RCMP with it looked like a GoPro or whatever it was, whatever brand. But they're filming this for whatever reason. It's like they want to get footage of stuff that happens. Like they're expecting something to happen. So he keeps, because it's not a camera that's a 360 camera. It's only pointed one direction. There's only one lens on that camera, and it's pointed at Trudeau at all times with a wide angle lens.
You're a traitor, Justin.
I find this hard to believe that RCMP is filming for, their media. Like they have the other media people there with giant cameras, the big shoulder cameras. That they're not going to use that on their social media. It's like they expect something bad to happen, people to throw oranges at Justin or throw a bowl of hot soup at him or something.
We can dance in a nice jail cell, Justin. Oh, here, look at this guy right here with the red tie, right there. CCP plant right there, right there. This guy right here. This guy right here. CCP right there. That guy with the red tie has gotten off 10 charges. 10 charges. 10 charges.
So they're basically rounding up all the clear, obvious people who don't like Trudeau.
Heads up. Go.
Oh, they're using our words. Hold this line. Yeah. Yeah, we're being kettled. That's okay. That's all right. Hey, traitor, Justin.
You're a traitor.
Justin, I know all about
Traitor to the country.
all about the mansion, Justin. I've seen those tapes, Justin, from Wade's mansion, Justin. You're on that list. I've seen it, Justin.
I think he showed up there just to pump up his ego. He wanted a whole bunch of people run after him with cameras and shake his hand. That's it. He felt the loss of losing Toronto St. Paul's for his bad leadership. He just needed to pump his own ego. He's just a small, pathetic man.
What about the Uyghurs? What about Tibet, Justin? Your CCP plant.
Trudeau needs to be checked medically because no one in their right mind would go to one of the busiest places there, jam full of people, and start dancing like a lunatic.
We'll see you again, traitor. We'll see you again. See you next time.
It's like half of the people there are cops. There must be at least 50 of them, if not more. If a PM needs that much security, he really needs to step down. Holy truck. What's with the detail on these black vests? Tryouts for the village people. Also, cops with masks says volumes about what's coming. The most hated man in Canada, and his action proves he knows it. Gotta shore up that support from his friends in Beijing. Look at that security, total waste of taxpayer money. Trudeau always looking for a free meal. He's the ultimate freeloader. Next up, we've got this guy here, Jason. He overheard Stephen Guilbeault at the train station. Why is Stephen Guilbeault talking so public?
Hey, what did you overhear sitting next to Stephen Guilbeault?
I mean, I heard the environment minister sitting there in the business lounge of Union Station, hitting the phones, doing outreach, recapping his last few days in Toronto, which involved some one-on-one meetings with several Toronto area MPs who are, in his words, he said in one French conversation, 10A. They're annoyed, they're frustrated, and they're tired, and they're stressed out. He was feeling the temperature of the Toronto area caucus to see if any of those MPs were willing or interested in calling for the Prime Minister's resignation. He was trying to figure out what they wanted, what would make them happy, what the Prime Minister, what the Prime Minister's office needs to do to keep this caucus together and to save his own skin, to save the future of the party, and to win the next election. Those conversations were held quite loudly, I can tell you, and within my earshot. I didn't really do much to try and pick them up, but I can tell you that in the hours afterwards, on my 5-hour train ride on a very delayed train back to Montreal, I had conversations with several members of Caucus who had not heard from Guilbeault, but who confirmed the details that there is a sedition caucus inside the Liberal Party, as one MP put it to me, and they are pretty unhappy.
Okay, so you overheard Stephen Guilbeault. He issued a statement today saying one-sided conversations taken out of context do not reflect the open and honest exchanges that I routinely have with my colleagues. As I have said publicly many times, the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, has my full support. Now, Stephen Guilbeault was calling around in support of Justin Trudeau. This is an important thing to speak about, because when you say there's a sedition caucus, he is definitely not one of them. But what did Stephen Guilbeault and the Prime Minister's office and everyone say to you when you followed up with them on what you overheard?
Yeah, it's really important to note that the Guilbeault was, I think, doing the best he could to try and keep caucus together, although he did say pretty bluntly, I heard him on more than one occasion say that there is a campaign to push the Prime Minister out the door, and that he was not 100% sure that the Prime Minister could survive this, that ultimately it was up to the PM to heed those concerns and to respond to them, and if he doesn't do so effectively, he's out of the job. Now, I reached out to Guilbeault, I reached out to some of the MPs who were identified to me as those who may be staging the revolt. I reached out to PMO. Of all of those requests, only PMO responded, and they didn't tell me much. All they did was confirm that the Prime Minister is making calls to some MPs, but they really did not extrapolate much beyond that.
Right.
This is pretty interesting. So the key thing to look at now is which MPs are being loyal, and it's without hesitation, they're being loyal to Trudeau, because why would they be so loyal to this guy? Some of them obviously have no money, no stake, no anything in it, right? I keep mentioning, is he giving them a kickback? Is he chucking them some of that extra Trudeau cash? What is it? What's the reason for them to be loyal? For the majority of people, especially politicians, most of these guys don't know each other for years and years. I mean, sure, in Trudeau's caucus there, he does have a few like Mark Miller and Seamus O'Regan, groomsmen at his wedding, but most of them don't. So it's money. That's why people are doing all these jobs. Sure, people want to make a change and difference, but the majority of these politicians, they're there for the money. They're big paychecks. Why would they lose their job for Trudeau? So this is what we need to pay attention to. Which ones are saying, oh, Trudeau, yeah, he's great, keep him in there. And which ones are saying, get him out of there. because we can get a clear division of who's in the inner circle and who isn't.
Spoken to members of Caucus over the last 24 hours who have told me that they're starting to lose their minds because they're expressing to the Prime Minister's office what level of change and reform and action needs to happen. And thus far, they've seen, as one MP kind of put to me in a text, zero zilp. Nada, zippo, like he kept inventing new ways of saying zero, nothing at all. So I think people are starting to freak out a little bit.
But loyalty to the Prime Minister, saying it's up to him to decide. You think it goes further. Who are the seditious MPs you've identified in your reporting, and what is the sort of change they want to see from Trudeau?
So this is really interesting because last night I spoke to one member of Parliament who had someone read aloud the letter that Wayne Long published today. He did not have a copy of it, but he had seen it at the very least.
Interesting.
I was told that there was several other MPs who had considered signing that letter. Their names ultimately didn't appear on it when Wayne Long sent it to Caucus today. I just got off the phone. You saw me on the phone before we started the show talking to someone in Caucus who told me that the momentum seems to have stalled on that letter, that people are now playing a wait and see approach. Ken MacDonald being the only MP to sort of express support for it. 3 or 4 others who had originally signaled their support for the letter aren't there, and they've been rather quiet.
So we have multiple Liberals now have come forward and said, time to get Trudeau out the door. As he just said, some of them, or a lot of them, are doing the wait and see approach. We've had multiple Liberals now stand up and completely support Trudeau.
One of them responded basically saying this is the wrong way to go about it. There may be 15 to 20 MPs who are this sedition caucus, but the majority of the Liberal Party, those 150 some MPs, are waiting to see if the Prime Minister and the Prime Minister's office is willing to reform itself. They have a list of demands. They vary across the country, I think, but the one thing I've heard consistently has been they want to see changes in cabinet. They think there are underperforming ministers. Althea Raj, I know, has just reported and confirmed some of those. They include Chrystia Freeland and Melanie Joly. They want to see changes in the staff of the Prime Minister's office. They want to see concerns from caucus actually being listened to, heeded, and they're tired of the sort of father knows best approach that's been employed by the Prime Minister for now 9 years in power.
Yeah, that's interesting. Chrystia Freeland's a disaster. Melanie Joly, also a disaster. I think she's in the inner circle there because her and Trudeau are having some playtime. That's my personal opinion. Freeland, though, now if we go back to this press conference with Chrystia Freeland, this is the last one she gave, she looks haggard. She looks stressed. I think she knows. I think she's out. I think she might be getting punted out. Like I said in the original video when I was covering this, she looks defeated. She looks sad. I think she's out the door. This is not exactly the face of confidence here. So the key question is now, say they kick her out and maybe Melanie Joly or a couple of the other ones, it's still not going to do enough. Justin Trudeau is not inspiring confidence in the people. So they have to get, if they're going to get carbon tax Carney in there, they can't just parachute him in. They have to, they bring him in as a senator, or he'd have to win one of the by-elections coming up. I think there's 3 by-elections, so you have to win one of those. But as it's proven with the Toronto St. Paul's, the thought of having a safe seat, that landslide victory, is not there. So really, what are their options here if they're going to get carbon tax Carney in here? I mean, if Justin Trudeau steps down, then he can go for Papineau, Liberal stronghold Justin Trudeau. I mean, he can run for that one and take that one. I mean, that seems like their only option if they're going to bring in carbon tax Carney. But really, does carbon tax Carney want to have anything to do with the Liberal Party now and attach his name to it? Probably not. He probably wants Trudeau to fail and lose. Maybe he tries to win Trudeau's seat in Quebec there, and then he tries to rebuild the party from scratch. I don't think he thinks, and I think we all know, there's no way, even if carbon tax Carney takes Trudeau's seat, he's not going to turn this around and win over the Canadian people. Many of us will never vote Liberal again after what they've done to us. So maybe he'll just try to rebuild the party and become the new leader, go for a leadership race, that whole business. Maybe they try to bring in somebody else. Who knows? There's not exactly a lot of Liberal celebrities that people are just swooning over like Justin Trudeau was when they brought him in. Alrighty, jumping over to my group. What memes do we have today? Not a life raft in sight. Yeah, you'll see Trudeau on the front. Justin Trudeau, the leader of Canada's Liberal Party, is now one of the most powerful and notorious dictators of the 21st century. Trudeau has capitalized on economic woes, popular discontent, and political infighting to take absolute power in Canada. His virulent disinformation laws and obsessive pursuit of ruler supremacy fueled mandates, lockdowns, and forced V-word. We now patiently wait for the tide of freedom to turn against him. Does this sound like someone else? So how come there aren't any circuses around town? Because all the clowns got into politics. They're going to charge this dog with a couple of felonies and hate crime. Happy Canada Day. We got a moose on the loose. My dream for Canada. Why are there only 2 options at gender reveal parties? Oh, that is just digging up a whole can of worms. UK extreme heat wave warning this week. Oh no, not 18 degrees. Weekend at Biden's. Oh, that's savage. I haven't seen one of those Weekend and Bernie's movies in a long time. Time special, most hated man in the universe. Mr. Speaker. I don't need you anymore. I'm woke now. Finally, Justin Trudeau cares about a church being burned to the ground. That's where we're going to wrap up this video. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought of, well, first off, Justin Trudeau completely losing his mind, dancing in public. Like, he's got to be trying to blow off stress because he knows there's some huge decisions coming down, or he's stepping down, and this is kind of his last hurrah. He just wants to try to burn as much of our money as possible with the RCMP. And Guilbeault caught speaking in public. Like, what an idiot. Like, Trudeau really has picked the worst of the worst people for his cabinet. Just all the stupidest boneheads. It's unbelievable. But everyone grab your popcorn because things are getting interesting around here in Canada. We're getting our freedom back sooner or later. So thanks for watching the end of the video. I greatly appreciate all of you. Be sure to subscribe, ring that notification bell. We'll keep fighting for freedom. I'll see you guys in the next one.